Yeah, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend and yours, Mr. Tony Moran.
Hello, anybody home? Hello? How's it going, guys? Nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming. How's everybody feeling on Sunday morning? Yeah.
Anybody hungover from karaoke last night? So Tony, how's the show going for you?
Oh, I'm having a blast. You know me, man.
Yeah,
I always have a blast.
of course.
Yeah, it's going good. Going good. A lot of people showed up this weekend.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody out, man. Thank you guys for coming out. It's, we've all been going through a rough time, and I think people are ready to see a little bit of, things returning to normal and, doing things that we love so much. So,
Yeah,
I
like
appreciate
normal
everybody.
stuff.
I appreciate everybody coming out and, following the guidelines and, keeping yourself safe. So let's talk about things that you're doing currently. Got anything in the works or anything that you're working on right now? Any hobbies or interests or anything like that?
My 15-year-old daughter I went and got her, and she lives with me now.
Nice.
Yeah. Went and picked her up, and she was. I've just been waiting for her for years.
Right.
She finally has come around.
Good, good.
And so, and I play. Thank you very much, dude. I play a lot of golf. Love golf.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I play a nerdy, stupid game. But I love it.
No, man.
I fucking love it.
Golf isn't a stupid nerdy game. That stuff's hard, dude.
Really, it's tough.
It takes skill. It takes concentration.
Yeah, it's tough.
I used to play. I got real frustrated. Had to quit. That stupid windmill, dude. I could never make it through.
Yeah, exactly. And it's tough. If the ball doesn't do anything, it just sits there like mocking you.
Right. Each one of those little dimples.
Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. But I have 3 kids, and my oldest daughter is doing really, really well. She's 19. She got a scholarship to UC San Diego. And last year, when she was living with me before she went off to college, and I taught her how to surf. And now she, San Diego is like every other block is a surf spot,
Right.
And so she's got it made, and she's shredding now. She's just really good. So
now she comes back to visit and teach you stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I surfed my whole life, so it's a good time.
Awesome. So let's talk about the Halloween franchise and how you got involved in that as far as the process of actually becoming Michael Myers.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting story. Yeah. You've heard this, right?
Yeah. I know some of them haven't done stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah. I'm a little kooky, or some people might say insane, maybe, I don't know. But back in 1978, doing a horror movie was really looked down upon. And the only way you could see, TNA was porno or horror movies. So, sorry about that. That's why I just use it. Anyway, so my agent calls me up, and I hadn't, I'm in an acting workshop, and I'm a typical starving actor guy, and I'm sleeping on the couch and everything at my buddy's place, and I needed money, but I'm not, it wasn't, she called me up about the part, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, and I'm not interested. And, she said, the movie's called Halloween, and it's a low-budget movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and he plays some psycho. I'm like, no, I'm not interested, because, people don't realize it now, but if you think about it, a horror movie called Halloween is pretty stupid, I mean, if you think about it objectively, it's like, oh, a horror movie called Halloween, how clever, it's like, you're really stupid, So I was like, no, I go, who's Jamie Lee Curtis? I didn't know who she was, and she explained it to me, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. So because I was in this acting workshop doing Shakespeare and shit, taking myself real seriously and stuff, you know. And so anyways, she goes, well, look at, you know, Donald Pleasance is in the movie. I'm like, what? Because I'm a big fan of his. Classic British actor. And I'm like, why would you tell me this? You know, why would you lie to me? Why would you say that Donald Pleasance is in this movie? There's no way he's in this movie. She goes, I swear to God, he's in the movie. I'm like, Mary, what? And she goes, Tony, he's some country, he's in the movie. I'm like, what? So the way I looked at it was, I figured if I got the part, fine, because at least Donald Pleasance is in the movie and I got a credit with his name in the movie, right? So that's not so bad, even though it's a stupid horror movie, right? If I don't get the part, well, I don't give a shit, because nobody's ever going to see the movie anyway. It's like a week or two in the drive-in, right? It's a horror movie called Halloween, you know what I mean?
Who's going to watch that?
Right, exactly. So that was on a Wednesday, and I said to her, I go, and the interview's on Friday, and I said to my agent, I go, okay, so what do I do in this movie again? She goes, I don't know, you play some psycho. I don't know, you just play a psycho. All right, you know, so I figured, okay. So I didn't sleep for 2 days on purpose, didn't shower or shave, and I wore the, you know, dirty ass clothes and stuff, you know. And I figured, if you want psycho, I'll give you psycho, no problem, you know. So I went on the interview at 8:30 in the morning in ghetto part of Hollywood, you know, and 10 minutes the interview was. Girl When You Blondes, the producer was over on one side of the room, and John Carpenter with a ponytail and t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes on was my director, and I'm like, oh, this is great, you know. So, and they didn't explain anything about the movie to me. They didn't say anything about it. They just talked to me about, you know, what I do, you know. And I left. And then later that afternoon, my agent said, you know, I had gotten the job. I'm like, what do we do? You know? So, for an example, you know, the way I am, everybody watched Happy Days before? You know, Joni Cunningham, Erin Moran, that was my little sister. She's dead now, but she was Joni Cunningham, right? Well, she didn't know I did the movie until 2006. I think my parents died without even knowing I did the movie. I just after it became really popular, I just didn't tell anybody, you know what I mean? It's like, well, you know, I just didn't say anything to anybody. So, anyways, that's how I am, you know, in real life. But, you know, I'm probably the most blessed guy walking earth, because who knew? I mean, really, you know? I mean, I didn't know, and I just stepped into gold, you know? Stepped into gold. It's just blessed, you know? I don't know how else to put it, you know? Lucky is not even it's not even enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but you definitely carried well, and you're great the ambassador for the brand. So,
oh, thank you.
Worked out great.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the filming. What was the filming like as far as set conditions, film schedule? You know, was it an easy shoot, or was it long out?
Yeah. As a side note about Donald Pleasance, I can't remember if I told you this story or not, but Donald Pleasance wasn't their first choice. He was like their fifth or sixth choice. Yeah, because everybody else said no. Christopher Lee was the first choice, and he said no. Everybody else said no. But the reason why he did it was he was on, I think, his fourth divorce, and he needed the alimony money. That's why he did the movie. No, I swear to God, it's the truth. Honestly, God, it's the stone cold truth. But then later, because he was, you know, I did the scene with him, you know, and he was like me. He's like, oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this shit, you know. And but later on in his career, he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. And it was, you know. But at first, he didn't feel that way. He was like me. He's like ashamed, you know. But so, anyways, when I got my set date, you know, again, my agent just said, you know, play some psycho. That's all she told me, and they didn't tell me, John or Erwin on the interview, anything about the movie. They just talked to me about me surfing and I'm a waiter or bartender, whatever I was doing at the time, you know. And I found out later why they hired me, why they picked me. had an AMC documentary, the first one about Halloween, and they have John. I was filming a movie in Boston. I loved it. I couldn't believe I was going to hear this shit. And they're interviewing him, and they go, "So why'd you pick Tony Brown?" And he goes, "Because I thought he had an angelic face."
He's not wrong.
And there's nothing angelic about me.
It's not
I mean,
wrong.
not a fucking thing is angelic about me, you know? And I listened to him, and he used that word, angelic. I'm like, what? What, are you kidding me? Anyways, so that's why they supposedly hired me, you know, whatever, and other things. But all I knew was I had to play Psycho, you know? So I signed the contracts, and they get my wardrobe size, you know, and all that. And say, okay, you're going to go down to Hollywood at this house, as you said. It's an independent movie. There's no studios in an independent movie. It's always on location. So I go to the house, and they say, you know, my agent said you have to ask for such and such chick, wardrobe chick. You know? So I'm like, all right. So I get there, and go in the house, and I go, I can't remember her name, Sue, Mariana. I'm Tony Moran. I'm supposed to ask for Sue, the wardrobe chick. They go, oh, okay, we'll go get her. Be right back. All right. So this girl comes back, and she's got the coveralls draped over her arm, you know. And you know the airborne army boots that have the hooks on the heels, you know. She's got the army air boots like this, and then she's got a mask and a jar of Vaseline. No, it's true. No, it's a true story. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, and she's like, hey, Tony, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Oh my God, we're so excited you're here. Oh my God, I love you. I'm like, all right. I go, and she goes, here's your stuff. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What? All this is my stuff, you know. She's like, yeah. And I point at the mask and go, what's that? She goes, well, yeah, you have to wear this. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, you have to wear this in the movie. I go, I do? Because nobody told me. Right? And I'm like getting really, really pissed off, you know? Because I'm like, now I have to wear a mask in this piece of crap movie? And so she goes, yeah. And she's on getting pissed, you know? I'm like, oh my God. She goes, no, don't worry about it. At the end, she's gonna pull the mask off and you can see your face. Don't worry about it. We're gonna show your face. I'm like, oh man. So I go, okay. I go, well, what's a jar of Vaseline for? She goes, well, you know, the mask is 100% latex. And you want to put that Vaseline in your hair because otherwise it's like Velcro, it'll just tear your hair right off when she takes the mask off. I'm like, oh, great. Awesome. And that's the story about the mask. And the mask was Tommy Lee Wallace. He was in charge of finding that mask. And they knew that they wanted to use the clown face when he was a kid, but they knew for sure they did not want to use that when he was a grown-up. But they had no idea what they wanted, you know. So Tommy Lee Wallace, who's the editor and the set decorator, he did the closet scene, which is actually my favorite little scene in the movie. It's so messed up, that scene. It's really cool. He had to find something. And he came across that mask, which is a William Shatner mold from a Star Trek episode. You know, and they painted it white and cut the hair and the sideburns and the eyebrows a little bit, and you know, changed it up a little bit. And that's how the mask came to be. Plus, they were only $1.89 a piece. No shit, swear to God. About two for $1.89 a piece.
All right, so obviously when you made Halloween, you didn't expect it to blow up to what it was.
No.
At what point were you like, holy shit, I know more actors? Yeah.
Well,
at what point did you realize that Halloween is what it is?
well, there's like really two separate times. I mean, when I do these, it's like it keeps, you know, I get like a sledgehammer about it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, because I don't. In real life, I can go anywhere and nobody knows who I am. I could go to the market, and, you know, probably somebody looks at me and they go, oh yeah, fat baldy guy, yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Just, they got me categorized, right? But it's like I'm here, and then it's like, then it reminds me all over again. But what happened with the movie was it was like 6 months later. Back then, there was no Netflix or Amazon or any of that stuff, you know. So if a movie was popular, it would stay in the theater for a year until the new batch came out. And Halloween, I really didn't pay attention. I mean, I'm such an idiot that, you know, we filmed in April, and in August I get a thing in the mail from John for an invitation to go to the screening to see the movie, and I thought that was the funniest thing in my life. I threw it away. I didn't even go. Like an idiot. Like an, you know what I mean? Like an asshole. You know? Threw it away. Didn't go. Yeah, real good, Tony. Real good. Yeah. So, and he never forgot that. So he still won't talk to me, you know. So, anyways. It was like 6 months later, and I'm driving down Sunset Boulevard in my buck, and I got off of work, waitering or bartender. That's what I did at that time. And going down Sunset Boulevard to get to the freeway, to get back to the valley where I live. And when you go down Sunset Boulevard, you go through Hollywood and Beverly Hills and this other town called Westwood, which was in once upon a time, in Hollywood. And Westwood's a really famous place out there for a date night, for a movie and dinner. And the theaters are beautiful. And it was in once upon a time in America, Hollywood, you know, that when she was watching her own movie, she was in Westwood. You know? And so Westwood's right next to UCLA. So I'm driving by that, and you not, I shit you not. I'm driving my own business, right? And there's this billboard on Sunset Boulevard before I get to the freeway near fucking Westwood. And it's Halloween with Mike Myers on it. You know, I'm like, what? You out of your mind? Because I just wasn't paying attention, you know what I mean? So then the movie's playing everywhere. All over the place. I'm like, look at this piece of shit. So I turned to my girlfriend and I go, do you notice, you know, that this movie's playing everywhere? She goes, yeah. I go, you want to see it? She goes, yeah, if I can find out. You know? So we go. My mom watching the movie, you know, and it's packed, of course, you know, everybody's screaming and yelling and stuff. And I'm like, in the middle of it, by the middle of it, and I just turned to her and I go, you know, this movie's not too bad. She goes, yeah, not bad. That's how I saw it, you know.
Now, did she know that you were in it when you were watching?
My best friend knew and she knew, and that was the only people that knew. Like, nobody else knew. No, I didn't even tell my acting workshop I was in the movie because they would, you know, probably like laugh at me, you know, so I didn't tell anybody, you know. Can you imagine how things change, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable, you know. Back then, though, it wasn't that way.
And so, you know, Michael Myers is one of those characters that I think a lot of the fans actually root for Michael to win. He's kind of the hero. I mean, like you know, who roots for a serial killer, man? Come on.
Yeah, except for Tyler.
That's
except for Tyler Mane. Yeah, except for him.
Well, yeah. It's Tyler. But so, at what point, you know, did you start to see the development of, okay, so I'm not an actual psycho killer, I'm a psycho killer that everybody loves, I'm the hero now, you know, and because I'm sure, you know, when Halloween first came out, that wasn't the reception for Michael. Now he's kind of like one of the family. You know?
Yeah, no, you know, I've only seen Halloween 1 and 2 and Season of the Witch. I've never seen the rest of them. And you know, and they even asked me to do Halloween 2, and of course I said no. Of course I had to say no, like an asshole. I didn't want to wear a mask, you know, so I said no, you know. Yeah, but they paid me, you know, and for doing nothing, you know, but so I just never really paid attention, you know, so I didn't know that's how it developed, like he became more of a hero than a villain. I didn't know that, you know. So.
All right, guys, so let's go to the audience for some questions. If you guys have some questions for Tony, just raise your hand and we'll get you squared away. I know these two young ladies had questions for you.
Have you ever wore your costume in public?
No.
No, but you just gave him an idea for the next track.
But here's what I am going to do. I am going to wear the get-up in public. The last 2 years I went to West Virginia, and there's this Harvard hospital there, and it's a really small town, and they put on this thing for me to be there and all that, and I did it the last 2 years. And the lady that put it on, she was born in this hospital, which is abandoned now. It's haunted, and there is, you know, I don't know if I really believe in ghosts or not. There definitely is 2 rooms in that hospital that freak me out big time, right? So anyways, she bought this property with the hospital and the nurses' quarters next door and a couple other things. Anyways, I was just joking. I was driving down to San Diego to see my daughter, and I'm talking to her through the Bluetooth in my car, right? And when she's talking about that it closed, and she does now own it and stuff, and she's got some plans and some ideas and stuff. And I go, you know what'd be funny? And I was just joking, but that's a real thing. I said, you know, I can get ordained as a minister, and I'll marry people there. I swear to God. She's got 11 people that already put down deposits for it for this September, man. It's not cheap. No, it's not cheap. Because for me to wear my getup, it's especially the mask, it's not a whole lot of fun. It's really hot, and it's really claustrophobic, and so, you know, it's not fun. But these people want me to marry him. That's Michael Myers, because they're horror fans. And renewed vows. They're going to do, and people are excited for that too. And I'm going to get these marriage certificates that are all Halloween related and stuff, you know, and have dinner with them afterwards. And so this will be I've done a convention where I did get up, you know, for a photo op, you know, but not like, you know, outside and shit, you know, marrying people. So I am going to do it. It'll be the first time. Now, sometimes during Halloween time, when people, you know, the kids come around, if there's a bigger kid, like when we're 13 years old, and they're dressed like Michael Myers, I always like looking at them sideways, like, do they know who I am? Is that what they're messing with me or what, you know? But I'm spending my first time.
That's awesome. You know, if you need a wedding DJ, I know one.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, I'll talk to her about it. Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
All right. And how about you? Do you have a question?
Was Jamie Lee Curtis nice?
Oh yeah. Everybody, but she was especially too. Yeah, she's just a real down to earth type of chick, you know, type of woman, and she didn't have any airs about her. She wasn't, you know, like all about that and stuff. She was just really down to earth. And here's the thing. See, you know who PJ Soul is? Did you see the movie? Okay, so PJ is the one that Michael Myers is in a sheet and she gets strangled by him. That was PJ Souls. Okay. In real life, PJ Souls is really straight and like a good girl, but she played the bad girl in the movie, right? And in real life, back then, PJ was not a good girl. She was a wild chick. I mean, wild. You know what I mean? So they flipped parts, you know. She played the good girl even though she wasn't really like that in real life. And so I can understand why you ask. But PJ's, yeah. And really, really, really cool chick. It's nice to see that she's doing the movie and that because she didn't want to be associated with Halloween at all. She didn't, you know all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did not want to be associated with it one bit. And it's like, are you kidding me, man? You know, this is an incredible thing that happened to you, you know. But anyways, yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it's amazing what a bunch of zeros will make you change your mind to do.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah.
All right, how about another question for Tony? I saw someone over here. Right. Yep.
Hey, Tony. I was curious if you've seen the most recent version. I'm pretty sure the proper term for, I guess, rebooted version.
Oh, the one that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And what your thoughts were on that?
It was okay. It was all right. It was okay. It wasn't. I can't knock it, but I didn't say I loved it. You know, it was okay. It was a pretty good movie. You know.
Gave you a little. It gave us all a little bit more Michael Myers, but just extended the movie a little for us.
Yeah.
All right.
That was part of my question, so I'll just follow it up with, did Danny McBride even bother to give you a call to see if you wanted a part of it?
No. I'm not really part of the Hollywood scene, and they all know it, and I let all of them know that also. But the new one that's going to come out, pretty funny story. I haven't told you yet, Aaron. Uh-oh. So I have an agent, but I really, she's just an agent because she felt like doing it, I'm like, sure, you want to be my agent, go ahead, But I don't do interviews. I don't go to Hollywood and go out on interviews and shit like that. If Hollywood wants me, they're going to have to come and get me and pay me, and I don't have to do that crap, Or I don't do anything, which is fine by me too, But so she's my agent, and she calls me and she goes, she's kind of giggling. She goes, "Hey, yeah, this new movie, it's going to be Halloween Kills, and they want you to be in it." I'm like, all right, what do they want to do? Well, they just want to use your footage from one and put it in Halloween Kills. I'm like, all right. I go, how much do they want to pay me? She goes, nothing. I'm like, okay, all right. I go, what about a credit? She goes, no, they don't want to give you a credit. I'm like, okay, all right, well, pardon my language, but I said, no problem, just tell them to go fuck off. She said, okay. So she calls me back a couple of days later, and she goes, okay, look at, they're going to pay you. I said, okay, how much? She tells me, I'm like, okay. She goes, but they're still not going to give you the credit. They're going to give you credit. I'm like, all right, no problem. Just tell them to go fuck off. So she does. That's all you have to do with people in Hollywood is just bitch slap them a little bit. And they'll be your little bitch, right? So she calls me back and she's like laughing and shit. She goes, never going to believe this. I'm like, okay, what? She goes, well, okay, they're going to pay you. They're going to give you credit. I'm like, all right. Same price? Yes. What's credit? She goes, you're not going to believe it. I'm like, yeah, I probably will, because I've been in Hollywood my whole life. I probably won't believe it. But I don't believe it. Right? She goes, they're going to give you the credit as special thanks to Tony Moran. After they kept telling him to fuck off.
That's cool.
And Harry knows me really well. He knows that this is not a lie.
No, I'm actually surprised you didn't call them to tell them personally.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that's what they did. Yeah. All I had to do is slap them around a little bit and they'll come around,
It's amazing what a couple of zeros at the end of a check will do.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, how about another question right here?
Yeah, I got a question for you. How you doing? I know you spoke, about the masks being $1.89 and they were so cheap. And I know talking to Carpenter, they had said that the budget for Halloween just to make it was very small.
$350.
Now the outcome of it, like, what did you guys end up grossing for that film at the end of the day?
I didn't gross anything. I was grossed out. You know what I mean? We didn't. None of us made any money. And I think John has been in litigation for this for years and years because he didn't get paid correctly. It's the highest grossing horror film of all time. I mean, yeah, it was $350,000 to make it, and it's grossed over $1 billion. 1 billion. And, you know, it's like, I get residual checks, you know, like, you know, it might be like $6 here, $13, you know, I mean, literally, you know, because we all got paid dirt, you know. And like I said, I just, you know, I'm blessed, you know. It's amazing. I mean, I pull it off, Harry, you know me, I pull it off pretty good at these, but this is really not my kind of thing, you know. It's, you know, I like to be more incognito in real life, you know what I mean? But it's the, you have to be in my shoes. I mean, it's the best thing in the world. I mean, literally, I mean, and without you guys, there is no Halloween, there is no Michael Myers, there is no, it's not really us, it's you guys that liked it, that makes the movie so special, right? You know, we just, you know, we're doing a job, you know. So, you know, the thanks is for, you know, for you guys, not me. I was just some asshole walking around, you know what I mean?
Therapy.
With an angelic face.
With an angelic face, yeah.
All right, I've got time for one more question. Okay, right here.
So you talked about earlier how when you were first approached or before Halloween and you were doing the workshops and you were looking for serious roles, how pissed were you when you realized I don't get to talk, I just gotta stand here?
No, exactly. No, exactly. No, it was you want to talk about pissed, you know, and having to put that Vaseline in my hair, you know, I had to cut it with apple cider vinegar to get it out, you know. It traumatized me, and that's why I'm bald now.
See, I was going to be like, so you didn't use the Vaseline?
I just started shaking shit off. No, you have no idea. And it was my first part I ever did as an actor. I mean, my little sister and I did a commercial when I was 9 and she was 5, but, you know, I hated it, you know, and so I stopped acting and she kept going. But, yeah, being in like it's exactly like you said, you know, I mean, I was such a dumb shit, you know, and I was taking myself so serious, right? And I was like, and I'm broke and still have this attitude, you know, and that I'm better than that or something, you know, I don't know. But like I said, you know, if producers and directors saw or knew that you did a horror movie, they just wouldn't hire you. They wouldn't take you seriously, you know, because it's like doing porno, you know, they wouldn't take you seriously. You know? So, you want to, yeah, you have no idea. And what I got paid was dirt, you know, and the mask, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so degrading. You know, I felt so ashamed of myself, you know. And then I look at it, you know.
I have.
No, right?
Cheap.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it just goes to show you, you know, you just don't know everything, you know.
So, I was actually getting ready to wrap it up, and now I've got a couple questions I'm going to ask. So you and Aaron did a commercial together.
Oh, yeah.
What was the product for?
It was, you guys ever see the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that cartoon?
Uh-huh.
It was actually the first year that came out. And we did a commercial for a bank. And we played brother and sister. And Christmas morning. And the scene was, one scene was her and I are tobogganing or sledding down a hill, and then it switches to Christmas morning on my bike, and she's watching me, and I'm wanting, you know, she's irritating me, or whatever, you know. And the director his name was Lee Lacey, and he was well known for high budget commercials. Okay? And I've always been a wild guy and had my own thought pattern, you know. And so this idiot, he flies us to 3 different states to find the exact right snow on the exact hill to be perfect. 3 different states. Commercial played once. on When How the Grinch Stole Christmas. They'd only played it once, and that's it. And this guy flew us all over the place, and we gave us shitty clothes. We were freezing our ass off, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit ever again. Forget this. And Erin was only 5, so she was like, whatever, you know. So she just kept going, you know. Me, I was like, see you later. You know?
Yeah, we're gonna have to find that commercial.
Yeah. I'd like to see it too. I'd like to see it also.
That's what I'll try to do for the next show. Hold it on.
Did I ever tell you, you know, I was made to go to Catholic school?
No.
Can you imagine?
No, that actually kind of explains a lot. I've been slapped with the Lord. That sucks.
Oh, yeah. No, my parents, you know, gave permission for capital punishment and everything, you know. It's like, he was a beater also on me. But anyway, so yeah, they made me go for 8 years. I mean, they're like, are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? In fucking 7th grade, I'm in the basement smoking cigarettes at this school of stuff, you know? So anyways, this is a good story. I've never told you this one. So I go there for 8 years. And I'm in 7th grade. And that's the first time you can become an altar boy. I was an altar boy.
I just heard somebody else.
No, I was an altar boy. I swear to God. But here's why. Okay, it's kind of morbid, but it's the truth. So the guys that I knew that were a year ahead of me, they told me, they gave me the whole rundown of being an altar boy and shit. You know, you drink the wine in the back room, you know, and nobody gives a shit, you know.
Just don't bend over.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. And you can do funerals. And I'm like, so the nun comes up and she's like in the front of the class, who wants to be an altar boy? And I'm like, and she goes, when you do funerals, and on funerals you get out 2 classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was like, I'm in! I want to do the funeral. I want to do it, you know? So the parish I was in was right next to Hollywood, so it was a really wealthy parish. And my buddies told me that if you do these you know, funerals, not only do you get out of class, but they tip you $5 these people that are mourning for the dead, you know? So you go up, you know, you do the funeral, and you're so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. $5. That's why I became an altar boy. And then, like I said, I went there for, well, almost 8 years. Almost. I just had a couple more months to graduate, and I got kicked out. Yeah, no? Yeah, that's a different story altogether, though.
Yeah, that one you'll have to hear at his table, guys. So do me a favor, make sure you stop by Tony's table, grab some autographs, get some pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Tony Moran. Tony, thank you so very much, my friend.